Hi, I'm Dr. Ford, and today we're just going to talk about what would be 3 ways if you're navigating any sort of weight management or just health. Let's just throw out weight management. Let's just say I just want to feel healthy in my body. You're a 30, 40-year-old woman and you're wanting to feel more comfortable in your body. Whatever that looks like. That could be so many different goals. And so if someone asked me what would be 3 main tips, I would say, okay, well, let's look at your protein sources. Let's look at your fiber sources, and let's look at your gut microbiome. Let's just throw those 3 out. So 3 things in a protein standpoint, I would look at how many times a day you're eating, what's your frequency, and then look at, are you having protein every time you eat? That's really hard to do when you're in a fast-paced society, you're not doing any sort of meal prep. It's hard to find protein foods on the go, at least lean proteins. And so there's different schools of thought where you can have a more high-fat, high-protein diet, and then you limit the carbs, or you have more of a lean protein and you bulk up on the fibers. So either way, I would highly suggest proteins that have a complete amino acid profile, meaning they contain all of the essential amino acids. So whether that's coming from soy or coming from a cut of beef or steak, whether that's coming from eggs or dairy, you want to find something that has that complete profile. If you're eating beans, you want to pair it with a whole grain like rice, so you're getting those amino acids together and you're going to get that full profile. They don't necessarily need to be at the same time, just kind of through a 24-hour period, making sure you're meeting all that. 2, finding fibers. So fibers are this component in plants that we can't digest, but they help with fullness, they help with satiety, they also help with prebiotics, they also can really help clear out the gut on a daily basis. They also can help with blood sugar, they can help with cholesterol levels, they can help with so many different things. Now, if you have any sort of indigestion or malabsorption disorder, you're going to want to pay attention to the types of carbohydrates that are in these fibers. And the acronym is called FODMAP, which stands for the type of saccharides that are in the foods, or polyols, which are sugar alcohols or in some fruits. So FODMAPs can be super confusing, but non-FODMAP fibers would be things like oats or carrots. FODMAP would be saccharides that are things like in garlic and onion and fruit, sometimes dairy. So it's an acronym, FODMAP. It's super easy to look up. It's also super confusing, and I want to do a series on that and how you can really enhance your gut microbiome. I have some free webinars with a couple of physicians in town that we're kind of going over how to enhance that. So fibers are really important. Aim for about 30 grams a day. There's about a range of 28 to 38. To give you a frame of reference, a medium-sized apple is 4 to 5 grams. So that means eating some really fibrous foods takes some intentionality. It's not easy to do, but if you're eating more whole foods in the kitchen, it's going to be easier. If you're eating more packaged foods, not that that's bad, you're going to have a harder time with fiber, but it is possible to find packaged foods that have high fiber. It's taking a look at the food label, which our FDA does for us, and just taking a look and seeing what is actually in the product. Fiber can sometimes be hard to access if you're having more ultra processed foods, which 70% of our food supply is processed foods. So just paying attention to what you're eating. Third is you're going to want to find foods that help your microbiome. So instead of just having a supplement, which those are unregulated, it's really hard to find a supplement that you can, 1, afford on a daily basis, and 2, continue to take, and 1, that, how do you know if it's getting all of the bacteria that's in your gut naturally? So focusing on fermented foods, things like sourdough bread, yogurt, any sort of kimchi, any sort of sauerkraut, any sort of kombucha, which these feel like really unfamiliar foods and hard to access, but think pickled foods, so pickles or pickled carrots. Sauerkraut is typically really easy to access at most grocery stores. You could also have fermented cabbage, any sort of fermented vegetable. Sometimes cultures like Japanese cultures, Indian cultures have a lot of fermented foods naturally. So exploring that area. It is going to be, again, intentionality and where can I find fermented food? So this is where sourdough bread is becoming really popular because of the healthy bacteria that's in it in the creation of the bread. You can find yogurts that, if you have a sensitive belly, that are lactose free, that are friendly. Kefir is a really good type of dairy that's fermented that sometimes is really tolerable if you have a sensitive belly. But fermented foods would be good. I have a really good handout that's top 10 fermented foods that I would recommend if you're one of my clients, but it's also super easy to understand in the World Wide Web. So those would be the 3 things that I would typically talk about in my practice right now. So hopefully that helps.